Can diabetics fast and how to do it right? Hi everyone, welcome back to another day of discussing how to stay healthy and in shape even with diabetes. Today we are looking into the practice of fasting and how it can affect people with diabetes. Fasting can have both advantages and drawbacks, so tune in to find out the details so you can make an informed decision on whether fasting is right for you. I will be uncovering both the pros and cons, so make sure you check out today's video until the end. Let's talk about it. Now, fasting is old, right? Christians, Jews, Muslims, they have fasted religiously for ages. Fasting for weight loss is relatively a new trend though, particularly because it seems to work for some people. Like celebrities, right? They talk about it. The new intermittent fasting diet books have raised awareness of the intermittent fasting. I talk about that too in my Ultimate Diabetes book. You can buy it on Amazon, but guess what? I'm giving it for free on my website at sugarmds.com. And all you have to do is go there and ask for your free copy. The online copy, electronic copy is entirely free. And if you're looking for the print copy, you only pay for shipping a small amount. So go get it after this video, okay? According to a September 2021 review, occasional sessions of intermittent fasting, when a person confines their meals to a set of, like a window of time and eats little or nothing, can improve weight loss, right? Reduce waist circumference, lower the blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, you name it. So it looks like all around very, very good. And if you have type 2 diabetes, intermittent fasting may help you manage your weight as well. The same thing as if the non-diabetics, you get the same benefit, although you may have to try a little harder, okay? But you have to consider a few other factors as a diabetic. Now, let's talk about how does it work. Intermittent fasting or not, you probably fasted. You know how it works. You basically don't eat. For a blood test, medical procedures, surgeries, and stuff like that, they make you fast. Now, when you fast, you naturally get fewer calories. When you get fewer calories, that increases the growth hormone and norepinephrine levels, which gives you the energy. Your insulin levels go down, which is also good. And then intermittent fasting, as a result, will help with the weight loss with combination of all these hormonal changes. Now, intermittent fasting can be done by, you can miss meals, you can limit your calories to very little, right? But you eat regularly on other days, although you're still careful with your total amount of food intake. You can do a 16-hour daily fast, like my wife does all the time, and 24-hour alternate day fasts, some people do, and 2-day a week, 3-day a week. They all work depending on how you want to do it and how you can handle it. After 18 hours, actually, the benefit exponentially goes up every hour, but not everybody can do that, but I strongly recommend if you can, and if you're eligible, like we're going to talk in a second. Now, if you have a care team, like your diabetes doctor should really personalize your plan to your lifestyle, your type 2 diabetes, overall, your symptoms, your medications, your nutritional needs, right? So if you are a little complicated diabetic on many medications and stuff like that, you may have to be careful about that. And I'll give you a few tips today on that as well. Intermittent fasting will help you lose weight in most cases, not every case, but sometimes it may be, or it may have negative consequences. There's not a ton of research on it, on how it can affect people with diabetes. A lot of people are successful, but some people get into trouble with it. But opinions are changing, and current studies are suggesting many assistance to diabetics. In August 2021, for example, Hormone and Metabolic Research Journal reported that intermittent fasting actually reduced insulin resistance quite a bit. And another one in the same year, Clinical Diabetes and Endocrinology, reviewed multiple trials that demonstrated that intermittent fasting lowered fasting glucose, weight, and post-meal blood sugar in type 2 diabetics. Now, we talk about all those benefits, right? So what is the drawback then, right? Well, intermittent fasting may actually harm the blood sugar control in some cases. Now, many doctors will warn against intermittent fasting, especially for diabetics, because skipping meals can worsen blood sugar management and can make you tired, and your energy levels may go down. And sometimes some people have injury risk because if they are having tendency to fall, or they have balance problems, and if they feel weaker, especially in the beginning, they may fall. Now, of course, when you skip a meal, what ends up happening is you may end up eating unhealthy later because you're super hungry, right? You may binge into the food. And sometimes when you skip a breakfast, you will realize that your blood sugars are actually keep going up. So I recommend having a healthy breakfast in the morning to avoid the dawn phenomenon, or even after dawn phenomenon. The moment you step foot on the ground, your blood sugar will start going up. Coffee spikes your blood sugar. Not eating breakfast spikes your blood sugar. So if you're checking it, you will see that. So that may be a problem, especially in the beginning, okay? And if you already have uncontrolled diabetes, you may think that, oh, it's getting even worse, right? And like I said, if you haven't eaten for hours and hours, you may crave a carb-heavy pastry or pasta. That's what happens to me during Ramadan. I fast 18 hours and I'm like, I hope I have some goodie, some carby things, because your body craves for it because you have been out of it for a while. So intermittent fasting, for that reason, can cause issues like your blood sugar may be okay all day, and then you eat dinner and then you are up to 300. And that causes endothelial damage, that causes problems, and your A1C will go up eventually. Think like a gust in a storm, right? So you may have a 50 miles an hour, winds that may not be very damaging, but then suddenly something comes and hits you 150 miles an hour. That gust of a wind will cause damage in your property. Same thing with the blood sugars. You may go with 100, 150 all day long, and then suddenly you spike to 300, and that can cause damage in your arteries. And then if you don't know how to manage your medications and supplements, being irregular like that may cost you. Many of you already know taking sugar MD advanced glucose support without eating is not always a great idea, because it is strong stuff, bunch of powerful herbs. So that's why it is vital to discuss intermittent fasting with your doctor. If you're on sugar MD advanced glucose support, if you are skipping meals, don't take it without food. So if you're taking sugar MD advanced glucose support, always take it with food. Realize that your medications and supplements may need to be changed. If you know what you're doing, if you're a pro, that's something different. But if you are not sure, ask about it. That's not going to hurt, right? In 2018, a Diabetic Medicine journal reported that intermittent fasting doubles the risk of low blood sugar in type 2 diabetics, especially if you're on a sulfonylurea like glipizide, glyburide, glimepiride. Those medications also, they're typically taken once a day, but the problem is you take it in the morning and then that medication is working on you for the entire day, increasing your insulin, and you skip lunch. Even if you didn't take any medicine at lunch, you will still bottom out because you're taking these medications that are very long-acting and causing a lot of insulin in your blood, and the moment you don't eat, you will crash, even if you take it just once a day. And if you are pregnant, lactating, you're medically compromised, advanced kidney disease, advanced liver disease, you should not fast. If you are dealing with severe infections or exacerbations of like chronic heart disease or lung disease, you don't want to fast, okay? You want to have a very controlled diet, but you don't want to go totally fasting. Anytime you have a higher demand for nutrition when you're sick, for example, you don't want to conduct a fast. Fasting can lead, for example, pregnant and breastfeeding women to run out of glucose very quickly, burn fat and tissue and muscles, and the ketones which are created as a result can actually harm the fetus if pregnant woman produces too much of it, because your fetus's brain and many other tissues are relying on carbs or glucose in this case. So a few case studies, including that is one published in October 2022 in a Journal of Endocrine Society, and another one in November 2019 in American Journal of Case Reports, suggest that intermittent fasting and the keto diet together may actually cause DKA in especially certain settings. Like, for example, I'll give you an example, right? So let's say you're a patient, you're on Jardiance or Farxiga or Invokana, right? So you take these medications, overall, generally they are safe. But then you decide to go on a keto diet and you decide to go on an intermittent fasting, then you can go into DKA with normal blood sugars, and that actually kills people. So even many doctors are not aware of the situation, but I'm telling you right now, if you're on these medications, fasting may be detrimental to you, especially if you're on keto diet. So cutting meals and food types can also lead to nutritional inadequacies in anyone, even independent of diabetes. So if you eat extremely healthy when you're not fasting, that's a different story, but consider these before intermittent fasting. Consult with your doctor and dietitian. By the way, we have the new Sugar MD app. We updated it. Now you can chat with the diabetes coach very easily. When you open your app, you will see click on the plus sign and you will see chat with the diabetes coach. You can start sending messages. We made it easy to send messages, and that's totally free. The app is free, the coach is free. We try to bring you services that you don't have to pay for. So, but when it comes to intermittent fasting, also talk to your doctor, to your coach. Insulin users must be especially cautious. CDC warns, for example, that restricting your diet while fasting or while taking these insulin and glucose-lowering drugs like glipizide, glyburide, etc., they can cause problems like dizziness, confusion, even seizures. And if you're not aware that these can be sign of a low blood sugar, you may be in big trouble. And if you are someone who lives alone or something, then you may not even get help. So there are intermittent fasting plans, right? Some restrict calories 2 or 3 days a week, some at specified times. I advise fasting against over 36 hours. So sometimes people go crazy about fasting and they go 48 hours or more. If you're a diabetic, that may not be the best thing, okay? Also, if you are new to intermittent fasting, you will expect some side effects. You will have some headaches, you will have cramps, constipation, diarrhea. These things are typical. I always say if you are truly feeling ill, stop. If you feel sick, don't fast. You need to be hydrated when you're sick, and you need to have some calories coming in. You may feel hungry, but if you're feeling lethargic and you're like, I don't know what's going on, I don't feel right, I'm about to pass out, stop fasting. That's not the right way to do it. If you are eating less, you should still eat full unprocessed meals like non-starchy veggies, proteins, and healthy fats. And taking a multivitamin such as Sugar MD Diavitamin will also help you. And also having enough water to avoid dehydration and headaches will be important when you are intermittent fasting. Healthy eating helps you lose weight and maintain your blood sugars for sure. And intermittent fasting, like I said, may not be just for you if you are one of those people that we talked about. Just because it worked for your friend does not mean that it will work for you too. So you are an individual with different needs. So before trying intermittent fasting, see a doctor, because going without food for long periods when you're diabetic on certain medications may be harmful or ineffective. Now, if you get the okay to attempt intermittent fasting, doing it with a friend or joining an online group or a social support network may actually help you continue with it, because it ain't easy. So let's summarize. If your diabetes is poorly controlled, full-blown intermittent fasting may not be the best for you due to blood sugar swings, okay? Instead, attempt intermittent fasting line techniques like decreasing portion sizes, increasing physical activity between meals, and swapping nutritious foods with the bad ones, right? So, the other way around, right? Switching to good foods from the bad foods. If your doctor approves, intermittent fasting may actually help manage diabetes in many of you. Reduce your weight, reduce your blood sugar, reduce your insulin resistance, and even cholesterol in many of you. But make sure you're a good candidate. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this channel so far, and I hope you subscribed already. If you didn't, do it. And if you did, watch this video right there. I think that will help you too.